Hey everybody, welcome to TìandTarot, or welcome back to TìandTarot. Today's reading is all about your September predictions. So we're going to be looking into your personal life, your love life, your side hustles, and your work as well. If there's any important messages or updates there for the month of September, then we'll be getting into those in this reading. We will also be rolling a numerology dice just to see if there are any important angel numbers for you for this month. And there will be an opportunity at the end of the reading for you to ask any 3 yes or no questions pertaining to the month of September. So we have a pick-a-pile reading today, and if you don't know how pick-a-piles work, I will explain that to you now. You essentially choose the pile you feel most intuitively drawn to, whether that's pile 1, 2, or 3. You can choose based on the energy of the pile, or the crystal or object on top, or even the number of the pile if that resonates with you. If you like to choose with crystals, I will get into those with you now. For pile 1 we have a banded green mini calcite tower. For pile 2 we have some pink cat's eye. And for pile 3 we have a grey agate palm stone. Once you have selected your pile, there will be a timestamp in the description box below for you to find your reading more easily, and I will meet you there. Bye! Okay, hello my pile ones. So this is your reading. You chose the green banded calcite tower, which is so pretty. And we're going to be getting into your personal life first. So for your personal life, we have the Ace of Spring in reverse. And we also have the Full Moon Harvest Endeavors. So this is really powerful energy for you in September. Especially when I pulled the full moon and then the ace as well, I was like, wow, this is a really important month for you. You're definitely going to be getting really creative. So there's going to be a lot of new ideas that are coming to you that are going to really inspire you in your life. You're going to have sort of this fresh energy, fresh outlook on things. It could be that, you're either coming up with ideas for like a hobby or side hustle that you're really interested in, or it could even be like new ideas in terms of new perspectives on situations that you're going through that can help you. But there's going to be a lot of shifting, like in your personal ambitions, in your creative goals. Things are going to be changing. You're going to kind of have like a newfound excitement for your life. You're going to plan things out really well. Whatever this new creative thing is, you're going to really think about it and dedicate a lot of time and energy to it so that it does become successful. I can see you putting a lot of effort into what it is that you're thinking about starting in September. You're going to be feeling really enthusiastic, really like high energy, really lively, really positive about just your life in general in September because of these like fresh ideas that are coming in. Okay, so let's take a look at your love life. So we have dusk, and we also have making a list of things you are grateful for will help you become more aware of the things you treasure and appreciate in your life. There's so much like new energy because dusk is kind of about starting those new projects. Because it's kind of like some people are kind of day people who get inspiration during the day. Some people get more inspiration in the night or like in the AMs. So that's definitely this energy. It's kind of like, why waste the opportunity to write down those things that are sort of coming to you, or like get started on the thing that you find inspiration for in the moment. So it's basically saying in your love life, if you feel something, act on it in that moment. If you are vibing with somebody and you feel like you want to ask them out, or you want to just see how things go or talk to them more, then do it, and just see where it goes. The truth will set you free. So if you've got a bit of a crush and you're wondering like how they feel, just figuring out the truth by simply asking them how they feel or putting out there how you feel can set you free, because it will either confirm that what you want will come true, or it confirms that you need to let this person go and not waste your time kind of thinking about them. So it's kind of saying like, act in the moment when you're feeling to act in your love life. Seize all the opportunities you can. But on top of that, I do also get like a really calm zen energy from this card, along with this card as well. Making a list is a very like passive act for your love life, but it can be really positive in making like personal progression. So if you maybe write down all the things that you're kind of enjoying about your life at the minute, whether you're single or in a relationship, what are those things you like, what are the things you don't like, and then it will help give you that sort of insight into what you want. Okay, so let's take a look at your side hustles. So we have the Queen of Cups. You know what? This pile is just so powerful. I felt it straight away with this first set of cards, but it's just continuing. You've had such big energy this whole reading. And then we also have Enchant. Let's pop those back over there. Okay, so with the Queen of Cups and then with Enchant, I'm definitely feeling like you can manifest what it is you want with your side hustles. Whether you have any or not, this can also be about ones that you want to start in September or ones that you're working on now. But definitely with the Queen energy, specifically in the Cup region, there's a lot of emotions, a lot of clashing and complementary at the same time. Actions, beliefs, thought processes. So, and then with Enchant, it's all about like manifestation, drawing in exactly what you want. So I can definitely see that you're somebody with your side hustles who can sort of come up with new creative ways of going about the thing that you're working on at the time. And all of these new innovative ideas do help to manifest exactly what you want. So what you're kind of looking for in your side hustle is definitely coming to fruition in September. If there's some sort of thing you've wanted to start for it or some sort of goal that you've been reaching for, I can see things definitely beginning to reveal themselves as a very positive during September. So finally it's getting revealed to you that what you've been doing, all the work you've been doing, has definitely been worth it, and you're kind of like up leveling, if that makes sense. So let's take a look at your work life, if there's any sort of career messages for you. Oh my gosh. So you had the full moon and you've got the moon here. These have just been like really powerful cards. And then we also have cleanse in reverse as well. Although I don't personally feel like the reverse matters. I take it as meaning an amplified version of the upright version. So definitely getting cleansing new energy for sure. This is about new energy, so is this, so is this, so is this. Like, all of these things are about new energies. You're coming up with a lot of new things. There might be new relationships coming in for you, new personal ambitions and goals, new side hustle ideas and creativity. And then for your work life, I'm also getting a sense of newness as well, especially with the cleanse. So there could be potentially you're going to be taking a holiday from work or a bit of a retreat or some time off just to cleanse and de-stress. But it could also be that maybe some of you have been interested in sort of changing career and you've been kind of working behind the scenes, applying to different jobs, trying to see what's out there, trying to see if there's something better. If you have kind of been wanting to get out of the job you're in and find something new, I can see that there's a job that you apply to that could definitely work out for you, that, you know, could become an opportunity for you. But it's about whether or not, like, you personally feel like it's worth moving on from your current place of employment for that work. Make sure you've got like everything in order. Make sure you signed contracts and things before you do anything drastic. Make sure you thought about things. But for some of you as well, you might be picking a whole new career path. Like, you might actually completely do a 360. Well, technically it's a 180 because 360 you'd just be back where you are. But I could see some of you doing like a 180 and kind of changing what it is you want to do as well. I'm also feeling a sense of completion. Like, you might actually get to a point in your career where you're like, I have mastered this, conquered this, what else can I move on to? And I can see some of you like figuring out new ways to advance in your field or in your current position. So say if you're like a project lead on something, now you're going to be becoming sort of a director. So I can see you literally completing one phase of that job and then moving up, if that makes sense. But there's definitely an air of mystery here around whether or not like that journey and that process is going to be smooth or whether or not it's going to be a little bit tumultuous. There's definitely like some part of this story that you're not seeing yet that, you know, isn't ready to be revealed to you yet. I do have a mystery messages meant to find you video. I think I posted it 2 months ago. Or a month ago, I think. But maybe you might be drawn to one of those piles and that can tell you what this mystery is, but I don't know. But I'm just letting you know in case you want to check that out. Okay, so we're moving on to the next part of your reading where you can ask any 3 yes or no questions, and I will be revealing the answer to those for you as best I can using these fortune telling cards. So go ahead and think of your first question that you want to ask. It can be anything pertaining to the month of September, and I will reveal the answer to you now. Might be. Okay, so there's a bit of a mystery around that question that you've asked. You know, the thing you're asking about could definitely be on the cards, but it might depend on other factors. For your second question, the answer is not even a little bit. And for your third question, go ahead and ask that now. We have yes. So regardless of how your questions have been answered here, please don't, walk away from this, feeling hurt or feeling like upset, especially about this one here where it says not even a little bit. I don't know what you asked. This could be positive for you. Please take what resonates. If anything in this reading upset you or just didn't vibe with you or didn't sound like it was for you, feel free to ignore it. I do that. Like, take it with a pinch of salt. At the end of the day, like, only you really know what your future holds, so try not to take it too personally if something in here has upset you. It's what I do as well. Like, I will literally, if I get something I don't like, I'm like, I'm gonna ignore that. So, please try and like have that approach to these kinds of questions and things that we're asking. And just remember, like, take the parts that sound good to you. Just those parts, So I'm going to try and roll the numerology dice on the table. It will mess up the cards, which is very stressful, but I just want to like have it on top of the pile and have it all be cute and not have to take all the cards away, because I think it's cuter when it's on top of everything. So I'll try and sort it out if I roll it and it messes everything up. So let's see what important angel numbers are coming out for you for September. So we have 90. Okay, I'll just check in my grimoire because I do not know these things off by heart. Okay, so your message for September is relationships need more effort, spend time together and bring back the love. Ooh, okay. So take that as you will. Invest more in your relationships. That can even be your relationship to yourself, your relationship to your friends, your side hustles. It doesn't have to be a partner. It can be any type of relationship. But yeah, so that is your reading, pile 1. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a like and subscribe, and feel free to comment if you enjoyed it or if there's anything else you want to see. And if there are any other piles that you were drawn to in this reading, please feel free to check those out now. And if not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading on TìandTarot. Bye! Pile 2, welcome to your reading all about your September predictions. So you chose the pink cat's eye crystal, which we'll place over there. And let's get into your cards, starting with your personal life. So we have tried to laugh every day. Laughing releases endorphins and brings more oxygen and energy into your day. We also have the 2 of spring as well. That's so cute. Pile 1 had the ace of spring. I just like that it's literally matching each pile. So this is really interesting. So for September, I can see, obviously, of course, with this card, lots of happiness, lots of enjoyment, but I can also see connections building. So this can be any type of connection, but more often than not, this is a romantic connection. So in your personal life, things that are coming up that are kind of taking precedence is definitely your love life. I can see that maybe you're connecting with somebody, making plans with them, bonding with somebody. It could even be, if you're not interested in romantic relationships or anything like that, as I said, it can be any relationship, a working relationship, a friendship, anything like that. But for those of you who are interested in romantic relationships, that is very much the energy of this card. It can also relate to like you being quite creative. So getting new creative ideas, enjoying life more, just in general, kind of having this glow up with every type of connection, including connections to yourself. If this is a relationship, this relationship plays a key part in you developing personally. So if you have any personal goals or ambitions, this relationship, because it's come up in this pile, in the personal pile, it implies that they have a very important role to play in your personal ambitions. They may be able to help you see things from a perspective you might not have seen otherwise, had it not been for them, or they might have skills that complement yours, or, give a good insight into things that you need to do to achieve your goals. Okay, so with that being said, let's move on to your love life and see if there's any important messages in there for you for September. So we have healing, self-love, peace, and relaxation. And we also have the 9 of Spring in reverse. So I feel like you were potentially on a kind of healing journey over the past few months, a healing journey kind of on your own, figuring out how you feel, taking personal time and space, and sort of being alone and enjoying that, and enjoying the small pleasures that come from that. Whereas now, what I'm feeling is that you've healed, that's done, is completed. You've definitely healed some sort of aspect of your love life. Maybe some part of you that was cautious to re-enter the sort of dating world has now healed. And it's kind of telling you, instead of less is more is more. So it's basically saying kind of get back out there, get back on the horse. If there's somebody coming into your life that you are interested in and you get green flags, then go for it, because there's potentially really good potential here. So definitely have more faith and trust in this scenario, so long as you're given indications to trust this person. If this person doesn't give you good vibes, this probably ain't who we're talking about. But definitely I'm seeing that there's a lot of romance coming in for you. You've healed, you love yourself, so you're in a peaceful space where if someone was to trample on your boundaries, you would put a stop to it straight away. So that puts you in a really good position to have relationships with other people. You've done the healing, you're ready, and you're open for relationships to come in. Okay, now let's take a look at your side hustle. Any messages for you about your side hustle in September? So we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. That's so interesting. Pile 1 had the Queen of... What did they have? Was it the Queen of Cups? Yeah, they had the Queen of Cups. And sacrifice. Okay. This is so interesting because I would say that, upright, this is quite a independent card, you doing things on your own kind of thing. But so far, every time we've kind of had cards like that, like this one, it's been reversed. So it implies you're no longer sort of needing that, you're no longer needing to be alone, and it might be more positive for you to connect with others in any kind of way. So as I said, work connections, friend connections, romantic ones. So for your side hustle, this is definitely letting you know that there is somebody that can definitely help you with your side hustle. There might be something that you need, something you're kind of missing knowledge on, or missing skills on, or just maybe you just need an idea and they've got a great idea and they can help you. But there's definitely somebody who can provide a lot of assistance here. But sort of collaborating with someone to sort of have a side hustle does mean relinquishing some of that control that you have when you work alone or independently. Working independently can be really great because you get to come up with all the ideas, it gets to go exactly how you want it to, you control the outcomes and things like that. But when you work with somebody else, automatically there will be compromises that need to take place in order for you to create a space that is there for them and is sort of shared. So you will have to sacrifice some of that control over your side hustle if you are going to work with somebody else, if you are going to collaborate with them, so that you can kind of work positively together. And that's something that will be necessary in September if you do choose to work with someone on your side hustle. Also release some of the control of the outcome of the side hustle, how it's going to be perceived, because now there's 2 of you on it, so you have to be responsible for their decisions as much as they are for you, because it reflects on the both of you. So that does require some sacrifice as well. But I also see just a lot of fun. You will have fun with this person. I know I'm talking about sacrifice and I'm oh, that's tough, relinquishing control and stuff. But you do actually have a good time with this person, so you're ready to make those sacrifices. You're happy to do so because it's for the benefit of the both of you, and it actually, you prefer this. This is very much a fun new environment for you that you're enjoying. So it's not you're you don't want to make these sacrifices, you know? Okay, now let's take a look at your work life in September. So we have the Eight of Swords upright. We also have Embrace. So I don't keep those reversed because I don't personally think it's relevant to those cards. Okay, so in your work life in September, I can see that you feel kind of restricted with what you can and can't do. I feel like, you know, you might potentially be in a job that you're not really interested in, or a career you're not really interested in, and so you kind of feel like by circumstance you kind of have to continue working there, which frustrates you because you want to be doing something else. You want to be like out there on holiday, living your best life, not worrying about work. You know, we weren't supposed to work, so naturally you're going to resent that. So you're feeling a little bit like hemmed in, if that makes sense. But you're kind of being told to embrace that fire that's building up within you. Embrace that energy of like resisting this and being like, you know, anti-capitalist and hating like the sort of workforce, if that makes sense. Like you're being told to kind of embrace that energy, because it's going to be fueling your energy towards your like personal endeavors and your side hustles and things like that, things that you kind of have hope for and have much more of a passion for and an interest in. Like I feel like if you did one of your side hustles full time, you would probably be enjoying your life more. Like that's the kind of energy I'm getting from you from this pile. So with these cards here, it's kind of saying you kind of need that boost to keep you motivated, because if you kind of didn't resent like your job, then you might never have explored your potential over here, if that makes sense. You might have just been like, well, I'm happy with that, and then never found your true calling or found what it is that really makes you excited. Even if that's just like moving on to a different career or job or whatever, you may never have found that had you not had that sort of fire within you to go and chase it, from feeling this kind of restriction and annoyance at not being able to control the situation. I feel like you might struggle a lot with control just based on the cards here and relinquishing that. So it's telling you to embrace that and let that fuel your ambitions towards other things, other goals and other projects. So now we're going to move on to the next part of your reading, where you can ask any 3 yes or no questions pertaining to the month of September, and I will try my best to answer those with these prediction cards. So go ahead and ask your first question now, either in your head or out loud, whichever you prefer, and I will answer your first question now. So yup, so that's a yes. Okay, I'm feeling this one for your second question, so go ahead and ask that and I will answer now. I also feel this one. Weather permitting. So you had, you had wait, let me think, and then you had weather permitting. So that basically means so long as you put the effort in, the ducks are all in a row, you know, you've grafted, then yeah, sure, you know. But if things aren't the right time, if it's not the right timing, if things aren't, you know, aligned, if the work's not been put in, then maybe not, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna answer question 3 for you now. So we have no, came out as on, but we have no for that, but I also felt this one. Wow. So it says you're having a laugh. That's so harsh. I just want to say, you know, if you've heard anything in this reading that you're not happy with, feel free to ignore it. Like, definitely only take the good parts of the reading. That's what I do. Like, if I am doing a reading for myself, I only take the good parts. So trust me, take it with a pinch of salt. Just take the good bits. Like, if there's anything you didn't want to hear, ignore it. Just feel free to ignore it, honestly. Okay, now I'm going to roll the numerology dice to see if there's any important angel numbers for you pertaining to the month of September that could have like an important message for you to remember for that month. I'm going to roll it on the cards. I'm going to hope they don't mess up. Okay. So we have 42. So I'm going to check in my little like grimoire what 42 is, because I don't remember these things. So listen, my brain's thinking too much at the time, you know. I ain't got all the time to remember. I ain't got all the space to remember these things. So that's why you have a trusty old grimoire, you know. Helps you out. Okay, so for 42, Your message is a friend will bring joy to you and a baby will be born soon. Okay. Feel free to ignore the baby part because that's irrelevant. That's no. Only take what you want to hear, you know, at the end of the day, but just go ahead and ignore that. But a friend will bring joy to you, and that is actually the message of this card over here. Wait, was it this one? Or was it that one? Either way, there's joy in a few of these cards. And there was also emphasis on connections and love, so it could be friendships, relationships, although there was a heavy relationship feel. But there was also a heavy work relationship feel as well, or side hustle feel. So definitely a friend is going to be bringing a lot of joy to you in September, so that's going to be really lovely for you. So that was your reading pile 2. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. If you felt drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading on TìandTarot. Bye. Hello my palfreys, welcome to your reading. So you chose this grey agate palm stone, which is so cute. We're going to put it over here. And now let's get into your cards. So we're going to be starting off with your personal life in September. So... oh yeah, you got two. You got two. I was really confused. I was like, hang on a minute. So you actually got 2 cards for your personal life, and then you also had this one. So we have the 8 of Spring in reverse. We also have love, passion, devotion, and warmth. And then we also have learn to appreciate the small stuff and not taking anything for granted. Okay, so there's a lot of emphasis on your love life in September, and because this is coming up in your personal life, it does imply this is a big part of your month. So this could be any type of love. It doesn't have to be romantic love. It can definitely be like self-love, love for friends, love for like work colleagues or just people you're working with in general. Love of life. It can be any sort of thing like that, and the fact that you're sort of appreciating life and not taking things for granted in September does imply you're kind of falling in love with your life and how you're living it. And with the 8 of Spring in reverse, I just see you having like a really calm, chill, mellow time in your personal life. You know, there's no need for you to sort of overthink things or stress out or feel kind of anxious. You'll definitely be in a space and an environment where you feel comfortable just sort of relaxing and enjoying your time. And that's what kind of allows you to appreciate things, because when you're stressed out and, you know, you're on high alert all the time, you kind of miss those small details because you're paying attention to much bigger things. So finally having that time to just kind of have your thoughts and be at peace, you know, is really going to help you to enjoy your life a lot more. Maybe you're going to be like going on a little holiday or just taking some vacation days from work or something, because that might just help with you sort of like falling back in love with your life again. Okay, don't want to move those. Let's shift these over so that we can take a look at your love life. Oh, we have the fairy ring, big energy. And then we also have, I create my own path and I walk it with confidence. Wow, okay. So I'm getting like really powerful energy. So there is some sort of like toxic habit when it comes to your love life. It could be, it could be anything. You'll probably know what it is, but it could just be like a toxic, like never-ending cycle in your love life of just the same old, the same things that keep happening. And it's kind of like, it almost feels like the universe or people are carving out this path for you and you're sick of it. So you're kind of like creating your own path. You're like creating a break in this fairy ring and walking out of it and leaving. Like, you're just done with that. Whatever type of like relationships or red flags that keep coming up in your relationships that you're sick of, you're ending it. Even if that's your own behavior, like it could be a way that you respond to relationships and handle them and handle your love life. Like it could be that maybe you have your back up a lot, which tends to like push people away, or you're very closed off or unemotional or something. You're going to be working on those things so that you can create your own path. But if it's a them problem, like if they're always like the people you end up with just are never your cup of tea and it never works out how you think it is, you're going to be kind of creating scenarios where like you don't have to run into those people. You don't have to deal with them anymore. Like you're setting clear boundaries, you're cutting things off when they need to be cut off, you're finding closure, maybe spending time by yourself if that's what you want, but either way you're ending whatever this toxicity is. I feel like it has something to do with like pettiness with messages in particular. The only reason I'm getting that is because of the little crow here. Okay, so let's take a look at your side hustles. So we have the Five of Swords in reverse. That is such a pretty card. Okay, so the Five of Swords in reverse. And we also have Merriment. Okay. So, you're literally ending toxicity. So, because this is your side hustle and this is your love life, I'm taking these separately. But because these cards basically represent the same things, kind of like ending that toxic cycle, just know that for the month of September, you're completely cutting off all toxicness, which is helping with that love and enjoyment of your personal life. In all aspects of your life, you're ending toxicity. So with your side hustle, there's something really toxic that's been going on. It could be that you're in collaboration with someone that you don't really mesh well with. It could be that you're kind of seeking a validation from your side hustle that is kind of driving you to overthink it. Basically, you're spending too much time overthinking, stressing, to the point that it's almost consuming your day-to-day, and you might need space from it. Like, you might just need to put it to the side. It could be that, like, you know, a lot of people have hobbies that then turn into side hustles, and the sort of stress to kind of make that work takes out the enjoyment of that thing, of that hobby that you originally really loved. So it could just be that you kind of need to pull away from the aspect of making your hobbies into side hustles and make it a hobby again, you know, make it something you actually enjoy where you're not thinking about, you know, the outcome or what people are going to think or how many, I don't know, cupcakes you're going to sell if your thing is making cupcakes. And then that will help bring like more love back in your life, more enjoyment, especially with this Merriment card, like much more happiness. If you stop putting all your eggs in that one basket into your side hustle and start spreading them more evenly, you might feel much more enjoyment and love in your life. But it could also be that maybe you have like a side hustle that you're avoiding and this is causing you like a lot of stress. So it might even be like, I'll use a personal example so that you guys can kind of see what I'm saying. But like, whenever I have a book idea that I think is going to be really good, I will never like sit down and just write it. I will always write the book ideas that are like rubbish because I know what the outcome will be if I complete that book. You know, it's rubbish, no one's gonna like it. So it's kind of like that. And when I avoid writing it, I feel sad because I'm like, oh, I would love to see this book come to fruition and yet I'm not working on it. So it's kind of like that. Like, it might be making you sad to actually avoid this thing. So it might be good to come up with a plan if that does sound like you more than the other things I've suggested. If there is something you're avoiding with your side hustle and you've not done it yet, just start it and then maybe make a plan and be like, okay, I'm going to do 300 words a day or 50 words a day, or if it's like making videos or something, just like instead of stressing about like what camera you're going to use or like, you know, what mic you're going to use and when you're going to film and whatnot, just give it a go once and put it out there and just see how it feels, and then you'll kind of fall into a rhythm. Like, naturally you'll just sort of find a routine and a structure, or maybe plan one if that feels better for you. Anything to try and figure out where these sort of toxic habits are coming from so that you can kind of squash them and then bring in this love and this happiness, because definitely in September you're squashing all that toxicity, like, and you are feeling much more love and happiness and enjoyment of your life. That's undoubtable. Like, that is definitely coming through on the cards. But just to like help improve like your happiness and enjoyment of your side hustle, maybe, as I said, for some of you, turn it back into a hobby, and maybe for others of you, invest less time into it, and for others of you, maybe invest more time, depending on sort of which one of those kind of relates to you. So let's take a look at your work life. So we have the Four of Swords in reverse. Again, a really stunning card. Like, cannot handle how cute this deck is. So, Four of Swords in reverse, and then we also have Connect. Ooh, okay. I find it really interesting. You got all sword cards here, and then you also had a spring card here. In pile 2, there was two spring cards and two sword cards. So if you were drawn to that one might be relevant to you. For your work, I can see that you might have had like a conflict at work with somebody, or like you might just be struggling to kind of like fit in or find your space. But obviously having that space and having those connections can really make or break how much you enjoy your work and what you do. So you're definitely being urged to make connections with people, because there is 100% people at your work or in your field or in like even in other teams, but just within your company, who would be so great as like a friend to you, or like a confidant, or just a colleague you get along with, if that's the only kind of relationship you're looking for. But I can definitely feel that you could definitely connect with people at work, but you just kind of have to put yourself out there and put the past behind you. If you've had conflicts with people, that doesn't mean you're going to have conflicts with anyone, and that's more of a them problem than a you problem. If you are going out there and communicating well and looking for good connections, and yet, you know, maybe someone at work is giving you like hassle, then, you know, that's a them problem, not a you problem. If you communicate well and you have positive intentions, then there are people you will connect with on a positive level. On top of that, if you're kind of looking to kind of climb the ladder, go a bit higher in your company, those connections are really worthwhile. Like, it really helps to know, it's more like who you know, not what you know, because then people are going to advocate for you when you go for higher positions and be like, oh yeah, I know that person, they're so good at that, definitely hire them, or they're so fun, they'd be great on our team. And then those kind of positive affirmations do kind of help to get you there. So even if it's just like you're looking to connect to kind of let people know you're a good opportunity or good option for promotions and things, then that's also like a message that's coming through here as well. It's so interesting because you're definitely like healing from some sort of toxicness. So there might have been like small things that were toxic about your love life or side hustles and work life, like maybe small little toxic relationships that are all getting like resolved in September, so that you can start to enjoy things more. You're connecting with people, you're loving more, you're enjoying life more, you're ending toxic habits, you're learning to appreciate your life, and it's all because of this positive turnaround that you caused. Like, you are the reason that this positive turnaround has happened. Okay, so let's move on to the next part of the reading. I'm going to try and answer 3 of your yes or no questions pertaining to the month of September. So you can go ahead and ask those either in your head or out loud, and I will try my best to answer them right now using these prediction cards. So ask your first question now. I felt this one. It's feasible. So yeah, could be possible. And go ahead and ask your second question now. Yes. So that's a yes. And go ahead and ask your third question now. So we have maybe. So there's sort of an air of mystery around that question. Regardless of what's kind of come up in this reading, please only take what resonates, and if, you know, only take the positive stuff. If something doesn't sound like it was for you, or doesn't sound like very positive or like something you want, ignore it. Go ahead and ignore it, because I do that. Like, honestly, it's fine. Like, take it with a pinch of salt at the end of the day. Like, only take what really sounds good to you, because that's what I do. So like, just go ahead and do that. Like, you don't, you know, if something doesn't vibe with you, please don't take it. Like, just leave it on the table here. I'll clear it out, okay? I'll clear out that negative energy. If there's stuff you like, go ahead and take it with you. But if you don't, leave it here. Okay, now I'm going to be rolling the numerology dice just to get any sort of angel number messages for you that are important to the month of September. So hopefully they don't move the cards everywhere. Okay. It rolled off the table. It was actually a little bit hard to tell what you got. It landed on 69 and 31, so I'm going to read both for you. Let me get my little grimoire, because I don't remember these things, so, you know, I got to look this up in my book. 69. Expand your knowledge and start a new course or learn new skills. Yes, so you're learning new skills all over. Because you're ending this toxicity, you're learning new skills. In your personal life, you're learning to love more and feel more grateful about things. In your love life, you're learning to sort of end toxic habits and creating your own path and figuring out who you are on that path. For your side hustle, you're learning to prioritize it how best suits your schedule and suits your life and your kind of enjoyment of that side hustle. And then in your work life, you're learning to reconnect with people or just connect with people and kind of squash those you know, negative encounters that you may have had. It could even be like if you've had negative encounters in past work positions, that's kind of feeding into the way you interact with current colleagues. You're kind of putting that to rest. And then for 31, we have let go of the past. Oh my gosh, what did I just say? What did I just say? I said let go of the past. So definitely that's coming through strongly then. So it could be like, let's say you had a job before this one that you're in now, and the environment was really toxic and that kind of made you go in your shell. Now in a good place in your work that you're enjoying with like good people, good company, you're still in your shell, and it's kind of about like opening up and coming out of that shell and recognizing it's like a good space to be so that you can connect with people, because while you're in that shell that protected you in that past environment, it's actually holding you back in the current environment. So it's like you've got to adapt to new situations and new environments. So in terms of your love life, you had to adapt to that. You had to release like toxic or habits or toxic cycles that kept repeating. So you've got to adapt to new environments, new things that are sort of coming your way. So this whole month is about adaptation, basically. So that's really positive. Like definitely just let go of the past and finally enjoy where you're at, because that's going to help you love more and just enjoy your life more. I love how this little cute love heart has just been sitting there this whole reading. Okay, that was your reading, Pole 3. I hope you enjoyed it. My legs are dead, so can't wait to get up and walk around after this. But I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And if you felt drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading on Tea and Tarot.